Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to dive into something pretty interesting, I think.
Right.
The secrets of success. We've got this great podcast episode we found called Behind the Hustle, Secrets of Success from the World's Top Achievers. And it really gets into some fascinating stuff. I mean, we all define success differently, right?
Right.
But this episode really digs into what those high achievers, those folks crushing it in business and art and all sorts of fields, what they all have in common.
Yeah, and it's really cool what they found. It goes way deeper than, just reaching some level of achievement or whatever. It's more about like the underlying mindset and the habits.
Yeah, okay. So let's break that down a little. The first secret they talk about is this idea of like cultivating a growth mindset.
Yeah.
I feel like we hear that a lot these days.
Yeah.
But what makes it so important when we're talking about success, actually achieving something?
Well, it's not just about thinking positive thoughts, right?
Right.
It's got to be deeper than that. It's more about really changing how you see challenges.
Okay.
So instead of seeing a challenge as this roadblock that's stopping you, you start to see it as a chance to learn and grow.
I like that.
Even failures, they become these valuable lessons. And setbacks, those are just stepping stones.
Mm-hmm.
You're on your way. It's all part of the journey.
So it's about how we look at those bumps in the road that we all hit, right?
Yeah.
They use Oprah as an example in this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like this global icon now.
Yeah.
But her journey definitely wasn't easy.
No, not at all. The episode actually talks about how she got fired from a reporting job early on.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? Being told you're not good enough, especially when it's something you're really passionate about.
Yeah.
But she didn't let it stop her. It was like this learning experience for her. She kept getting better.
Right.
And look at her now.
It's like those setbacks just made her even more determined.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, but let's be real. It's easy to talk about growth mindset. But how do we actually put it into practice?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not like this overnight change you can just make. It's about consistently choosing to see challenges in a new way, as opportunities.
Okay.
One way to really do that is through deliberate practice. So instead of, just going through the motions, you're actively looking for ways to get better at what you do. And another thing that's really powerful is asking for feedback.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's hard to hear sometimes.
Yeah.
It helps you see those blind spots we all have, right? And it shows you where you can grow.
So it's about getting out of your comfort zone and pushing yourself.
Exactly.
Which actually leads perfectly to the second secret they talk about in the episode, focus and discipline.
Ooh, yeah.
That's tough these days.
It is. The world is just full of distractions now.
Oh, tell me about it.
And the episode really hits on that. It says that being able to really focus in the middle of all that chaos is a huge part of being successful. They use a extreme example, though. Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah, the 100-hour workweek guy.
That's the one. When he was building Tesla and SpaceX, he was known for working crazy hours.
Wow.
And it wasn't just about the time, it was about how he used it. He was super structured. The episode even says he would break his work down into these 5-minute chunks. Crazy, right?
That's intense. I mean, for most of us, maybe it's not about the hours so much, but about that focus we bring to our work.
Right.
You mentioned balance before. How does that fit in with focus and discipline?
Well, it's about finding something you can sustain that works for you. You don't want to burn yourself out, right? It's more about being intentional with your time and energy. So instead of trying to be like Elon Musk working all those hours, think about what you can commit to realistically. Could you carve out an hour each day just to focus on one important project, no distractions? Or maybe you could set up a system to handle all those notifications that pop up.
Yeah, good point.
Little things like that can help.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll dive into that third secret, resilience and adaptability. Stay with us.
Can't wait.
It's like creating that space where you can really get in the zone and get things done.
Yeah, totally.
But even with all the planning and focus in the world, sometimes things just don't go our way.
It happens.
And that brings us to the third secret they talk about in this episode, resilience and adaptability.
This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, the episode makes this point that the road to success, it's almost never a straight line.
Right.
It's going to be full of twists and turns and, those obstacles that we all hate.
Oh, yeah.
They always seem to pop up at the worst time.
Exactly.
But it's the people who can bounce back from those challenges, who can adapt and find a new way forward. Those are the ones who really stand out.
So it's not about just avoiding challenges altogether.
No, not at all.
It's about how we handle them when they come up.
Exactly.
They use J.K. Rowling as an example.
Oh, yeah. She's a great example.
I mean, before Harry Potter became this huge thing,
right,
she was a single mom, getting rejected over and over by publishers.
That's true. The episode even says that 12 publishers turned down the first Harry Potter book.
Wow.
Can you imagine? That must have been so discouraging.
I can't even imagine.
But she just kept going.
It's incredible.
And what's really inspiring is that she didn't just keep writing the same way. She was trying to get better, you know?
Yeah.
She's taking writing workshops and learning new techniques.
It's like she used those rejections to fuel her.
Yeah, totally.
So what can we take away from that?
Well, I think it shows us that resilience isn't just about pushing through. It's about learning from those setbacks, changing your approach, and always looking for ways to improve.
I like that. Okay, so we've talked about these secrets in the context of some pretty amazing personal stories.
Right.
But I'm curious, how do they play out in different areas? Like, what about sports or innovation?
That's a good question. Well, when you think about athletes who've had these, career-ending injuries, and then they come back and compete at the highest level, it's amazing. It's like the ultimate example of resilience and adaptability.
Totally.
They have to rebuild their bodies, overcome all this self-doubt, and they have to believe in themselves when it seems like everything is against them.
It's not just physical strength, it's mental too.
Exactly.
It's like they're rewriting their own stories.
Yeah.
Adapting to this new reality and coming back even stronger.
I love that.
And I bet those same principles are huge in a field like innovation where everything's changing so fast.
Oh, absolutely. Think about all those entrepreneurs who start these companies.
Yeah.
They face so many setbacks and have to pivot and completely rethink what they're doing.
It's true.
The tech world is a perfect example. If a company can't keep up with all the new technology and trends, they're going to get left behind.
Right.
It's a constant test of how well they can adapt.
So it's like these secrets of success are kind of universal.
Yeah.
They can apply to all these different areas.
I think so.
It's not just about hitting some external goal.
Right.
It's about building up these qualities inside us that let us succeed no matter what we're doing.
I agree.
And what's really cool is that resilience and adaptability aren't just things some people are born with.
Right.
We can actually develop them over time.
Totally. They're skills.
That's a good point. So it's like we're building up this muscle, the ability to bounce back and adapt to change.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
But how do we actually do that? Where do we even start?
Well, I think...
It's funny, right? We talk about wanting to be more resilient, more adaptable.
Yeah.
But how do you actually do that? It can't just be wishing for it.
Right. I think a lot of it comes down to how we see things. So instead of looking at challenges as these big, scary threats, we need to start seeing them as chances to grow. Yeah. That's where that whole growth mindset thing comes in.
So it all goes back to that first secret.
Yeah.
We're not just trying to survive the tough stuff.
Right.
We're trying to learn from it and use it to get better.
Exactly. We got to accept that setbacks are going to happen. They're part of the process.
Right.
They don't have to control us. They can actually help us learn and grow.
Okay, that makes sense. But there's this other thing we haven't really talked about yet.
What's that?
Self-belief.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like one of those buzzwords sometimes. But the episode really emphasizes how important it is.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's the connection between believing in yourself and actually achieving success?
I mean, it's huge. Think about it. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? It's that confidence deep down that you can learn and grow and reach your goals, even when things get hard.
It's like having this voice in your head saying, you got this.
Exactly.
Even when everything seems to be going wrong.
Right. But what if that voice is more like a whisper?
Yeah, what then?
How do we make it louder, that self-belief? Right.
That's something a lot of people struggle with. Right. And I'll be honest, it's not always easy. It's not just about saying nice things to yourself or wishing it was true.
So what is it about then?
I think real self-belief, it comes from taking action. It's about proving to yourself over and over that you can do more than you think.
So it's like you need to take action to believe in yourself, but you also need to believe in yourself to take action.
Exactly. It's this constant back and forth. Every little win, every challenge you get through, it adds to that foundation of self-belief. It's about celebrating those wins, no matter how small.
Makes me think about all the times I've held myself back because of self-doubt.
Yeah.
It's so easy to compare yourself to other people, especially with social media and everything.
It's a real trap.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that you're only seeing the best parts of other people's lives.
Right.
Behind those perfect Instagram posts, all the success stories, there's hours and hours of hard work, setbacks, and yeah, probably a lot of self-doubt too. It's easy to forget that.
Totally.
Right.
We see the end result, but we don't see all the messy stuff in between.
The challenges, the failures.
Right. And that's why it's so important to focus on your own journey.
Okay.
Celebrate your wins, learn from your mistakes, and remember, you're not alone in this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Everyone goes through challenges and feels self-doubt sometimes.
You know, the episode also talks about finding mentors.
Oh, yeah, that's so important.
It's like having someone who's been there before to guide you.
Exactly. A good mentor can give you advice based on their own experience. They can help you see things from a different perspective, encourage you, and remind you of what you're good at when you're feeling down on yourself.
It's like having a cheerleader, but also someone who'll give you honest feedback.
Exactly.
And help you stay on track.
Yeah, I love that.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into these secrets of success, it feels like we've uncovered a lot of stuff that's all connected.
It is all connected, yeah.
Growth mindset, focus and discipline, resilience and adaptability.
Right.
And that all-important self-belief.
And what's really cool is that they all work together.
Yeah.
When you develop one, it helps you with the others.
They reinforce each other.
Exactly. Like when you have a growth mindset, you're more likely to face challenges head on and become more resilient.
Right.
And when you really believe in yourself, you're going to be more focused and disciplined.
It's like they're all pieces of the same puzzle.
I like that.
You can't just master one, you got to work on all of them together.
And the best part is, we can all develop these skills over time. It's not about being perfect or knowing everything. It's about being willing to learn, to grow, to keep pushing yourself.
I love that. So to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Okay.
I'm going to borrow a line from the episode.
Okay.
Who else embodies these traits? Think about the people you admire, the people who inspire you. What can you learn from their journeys? What qualities do they have that you can work on developing in yourself?
That's such a good challenge. And remember, even a small step today can get you closer to where you want to be.
That's true.
So what are you going to commit to this week? What action can you take to unlock your potential?
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.